We travel to feel alive, to search for adventure, to drive on roads that few have ever taken, for the thrill of off-roading in our 4x4 SUVs, for that sense of achievement when we reach a place that challenges us, and for the memories we create with like-minded friends. Johar Valley was one such place, promising everything we seek. The Johar Valley lies just east of Nunda Devi, India's second highest peak. At the very end of this valley sits Milam Village, the last hamlet before the snout of mighty Milam Glacier. Once the glacier met the village directly, but today, due to global warming, its terminus has receded nearly 5 kilometers away. The glacier originates from Tersali Peak, standing at an elevation of 7,050 meters, a silent giant above this fragile valley. Munsiyari was our meeting point, the place where the journey truly began. On the 26th of September 2025, just after 10 in the morning, we rolled out, heading into the unknown toward Milam Village. About 10 kilometers from Munsiyari, we reach this tri-junction. The road on the right drops down toward Pithoragarh, while the road on the left climbs deeper into the mountains, leading to Milam Village, 60 kilometers from here. Up to Lilam village, the first 10 kilometers offer a smooth drive. Surrounded by towering cliffs, the valley comes alive with numerous waterfalls flowing on both sides. Up until 2021, the road to Milam village simply didn't exist. Beyond Lilam, life continued on foot, with villagers hiking the rugged mountains. The difficulty of this journey is what kept the valley isolated for decades. It's only in the past year that vehicles have begun plying on this road.
So I think we are officially into the Milam Valley. Wow, what a waterfall. Waterfalls की तो यहाँ पे कमी ही नहीं है.
पीछे वाली गाड़ी से सभी गाड़ियों का एक वीडियो बनाओ ना मोबाइल से. परमानेंट बना है, परमानेंट आगे लगा हुआ है ना कैमरा उससे. मोबाइल से वीडियो बनाओ. तो ऐसे बनाए थे सर्विस से निकल. तो बना दिया हमने सर्विस से निकल के.
कट जाएगा ना. स्पीड ज़्यादा है ना तो ज़्यादा रिस्की था. अभी रोड थोड़ी खराब होनी स्टार्ट हुई है. आई थिंक यहाँ तक 4x2 व्हीकल्स विद हाई ग्राउंड क्लियरेंस, इट्स एब्सोल्युटली ओके.
हमारी लाइटें ऑन है क्या? ऊपर और नीचे चारों दिख रही है क्या? हाँ, दिख रही है सर, चालू है.
That's why it's called mule track. It's mule track marked on Google Maps, not a road proper.
We kept driving deeper and deeper into the Johar Valley, following the course of the Gori Ganga river, as the track grew progressively narrower and rougher. Up to this point, a high ground clearance vehicle could manage the route. But beyond this lay pure 4x4 territory, waiting to test us. Our convoy consisted of 4 vehicles, a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, Toyota Fortuner, Ford Endeavour, and a Jeep Compass, all 4-wheel drives. However, the Jeep Compass was already beginning to struggle to keep pace. A major obstacle now stood in front of us. By afternoon, the water level had risen significantly, and even the locals had called it a day. Their 4x4 pickup trucks simply wouldn't make it across. Naturally, doubts crept in for us as well. We decided to first assess the crossing using the legendary Jeep Rubicon. To put things in perspective, it was running on 35-inch tires, compared to the 30-inch tires on the Endeavour and Fortuner, along with a 4-inch lift and a modified suspension setup. The Rubicon walked through the crossing without breaking a sweat, but the real challenge still lay ahead. For the other SUVs, getting stuck midstream could mean serious mechanical damage. Despite the risks, we committed to the challenge, and one by one, we crossed over successfully, turning doubt into pure adrenaline.
डेफिनेटली 4x2 गाड़ियों के लिए नहीं है अभी पीछे आपने जो वाटर क्रॉसिंग देखी थी.
This was the massive water crossing at Bugdyar, the single biggest obstacle on this route. It's the reason why only proper 4x4 vehicles can move ahead into the deeper parts of the Johar Valley. Even the Jeep Compass couldn't take on this challenge, and we had to leave it behind. Our next task was just as tough, redistributing its luggage into the remaining vehicles. With our cars already packed with camping gear and supplies, everything we needed to survive days and nights outdoors in Milam, space was at an absolute premium. It was one of the many moments that demanded a pause. The breathtaking landscape slowed our journey toward the destination, but resisting views like these was never an option. This road to Milam Village remains closed for nearly 6 months each year due to heavy snow accumulation and frequent snowslides. The months of July and August are also not recommended, as monsoon rains make the track extremely risky. This leaves only a narrow travel window, roughly 2 months before and after the monsoon. May and June are considered the best and safest months to attempt this route. The Johar Valley is one of the most historically rich yet least known valleys of the Indian Himalayas. Located in present-day Uttarakhand, this remote valley was once a thriving center of trade and culture, rather than the isolated region we see today. For centuries, Johar Valley lay on an important Indo-Tibetan trade route. The people of this valley, known as the Joharis or Shalka community, were skilled traders who traveled across high Himalayan passes into Tibet, exchanging grain, jaggery, and cloth for salt, wool, borax, and precious stones. Villages like Milam, Burfu, and Martoli flourished as prosperous trading hubs. This way of life came to an abrupt end in 1962 after the Indo-China War. The border was sealed, trade stopped overnight, and the Johari people were forced to migrate to lower regions. Entire villages were gradually abandoned, leaving behind stone houses, temples, and memories frozen in time. For decades, Johar Valley remained cut off, accessible only on foot, preserving its raw beauty and solitude. Even today, as limited road access slowly reaches these heights, the valley still feels untouched, a living reminder of a lost Himalayan civilization, shaped by trade, resilience, and isolation. Recent heavy and prolonged monsoons triggered numerous small landslides along this route, stalling road construction for nearly 6 months. In many stretches, the track had almost vanished, replaced by loose rock, deep slush, and unstable terrain. It was the vehicles absorbing the punishment, negotiating the conditions with ease, and without breaking a sweat. This was, without doubt, the most breathtaking landscape we had encountered so far on the route, Laspa village. Almost midway in terms of travel time between Munsiyari and Milam Village, the scenery here changes dramatically. The valley suddenly opens up into vast grassy meadows, with snow-covered peaks rising on one side, while tall, barren mountains loom silently on the other. It felt truly otherworldly, the perfect place to pause, soak it all in, and recharge before pushing onward toward our ultimate destination for the day. Johar Valley was once home to over a dozen thriving villages, sustained by trade, pastoral life, and seasonal migration. However, following the closure of Indo-Tibetan trade after 1962, coupled with extreme weather, isolation, and lack of road connectivity, most of these settlements were gradually abandoned. Today, only a handful of villages remain seasonally inhabited. Steep ascents and descents, combined with loose surface and unstable ground beneath the tires, made this a challenge only true 4x4 vehicles could handle. Until a proper tarmac road is built, this route remains exclusively meant for 4x4 SUVs.
इस टाइप का रास्ता था वो, मतलब खड़ाई भी ज़्यादा और ये पत्थर भी थोड़ा और ज़्यादा मतलब ज़्यादा। होना है थोड़ी देर।
This off-road drive once again highlighted the true value of BF Goodrich tires. Both the Toyota Fortuner and the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon were running on BFG, while the Ford Endeavour was equipped with Yokohama Geolanda tires. On a trail like this, driving continuously for nearly 6 hours at a steady pace over rocks, slush, and broken terrain. The BFG performed flawlessly, with no loss of confidence or traction. The Geolanders, however, began to show their limits, and on our return journey, one of the Endeavour's tires eventually suffered a blowout. For the vehicles on BFG, though, it was completely stress-free, driving from start to finish. To our right lay the villages of Burfu and Mappa, and from here we crossed this bridge to the other side of the Gori Ganga. Before crossing over, we checked directions with a local, who confidently told us that the track ahead was absolutely smooth all the way to Milam Village. That statement alone tells you everything about the road standards assumed in this part of the Himalayas. The collapsed bridge over Bilju Nala was yet another obstacle, cutting off vehicle access to Milam Village. As we slowly inched closer to Milam Village, the valley began to open up before us. The snow-clad Trisuli Peak appeared and disappeared between the clouds, while the surrounding terrain transformed, with a striking conical mountain rising in the distance. The landscape was so breathtaking, it felt as if someone had painted their own vision of heaven. At that moment, we all knew every bit of the back-breaking journey we had endured was absolutely worth it. With the sun about to dip below the horizon in about an hour, we decided to pitch our tents at a suitable spot close to Milam Village. After a brief recce of the area, we found the perfect location and finally went ahead with setting up our campsite. That's the Gori Ganga, flowing down from the Milam Glacier. In the distance stands Trisuli Peak, with the enchanting Milam Village nestled below a towering conical mountain, a sight that feels nothing short of magical. After a long, exhausting day of driving over broken tracks littered with rocks, bumps and slush, followed by the effort of setting up camp while battling the biting cold winds of the Johar Valley, it was finally time for a well-deserved celebration. A moment to unwind, recharge, and prepare ourselves for the next day. Camping at high altitude with winter already closing in probably wasn't our brightest decision. The night was freezing, and we quickly realized that camping isn't just about pitching tents. Washing utensils and packing up the campsite can feel harder than the actual drive. Lesson learned? The mountains always have the last laugh.
This is the last point till where vehicles come in Milam, and the road ends over here.
Walking through Milam Village felt nothing less than a walk through history. The stone houses with their stone walls, roofs and pathways, and not a single person in sight, spoke volumes about what this magnificent village once was. Completely untouched by the outside world, Milam stands frozen in time. Despite having traveled extensively, this remains one of the most unique villages I have ever experienced. This is one of the largest and most imposing structures in the entire village. Local accounts suggest that it was traditionally used as a safe refuge whenever there was a threat of intrusion. For a brief period, it is also believed to have served as a makeshift holding place. What truly stands out is the scale of construction. Some of the stone blocks used in the side walls are over 10 feet long, weighing several tons. Looking at it today, it's impossible not to wonder how such massive stones were quarried, transported and placed without any modern machinery. A testament to the remarkable skill and effort of the people who built it. For our second night, we moved into the only homestay in Milam Village. It also happens to be the only newly constructed structure here, standing in sharp contrast to the rest of the village.
अभी तो ऐसे मिलके तो ज्यादा ही अच्छा लगा बहुत ही अच्छा लगा टूरिस्ट आने एग्रोगाड़ी फेस्टिवल आए एग्रोगाड़ी फेस्टिवल आए तो महीना हो गया था चालू लेकिन वहाँ नदी ज्यादा हो गया ना
अच्छा गाड़ियाँ अभी आना स्टार्ट हुई
यहाँ भी वो पुल नहीं था जो एक पंखा गाड़ी है वहाँ पुल ही नहीं था फिर नदी से आ रहे थे कोई हम तो पैदल ही आए
अच्छा पैदल आते थे आप लोग यहाँ पहले मतलब पहली बार टूरिस्ट गाड़ी आई है
16 तारीख को आए यहाँ लेकिन पैदल आए
अब जाओगे थोड़ी पैदल
नहीं अब तो गाड़ी में जाएंगे आप ये गाड़ी लगा देना
We were among the first tourists to reach this isolated village in our own self-driven vehicles. Milam has seen visitors before, but they either trekked all the way in or depended on local 4x4 pickup vehicles, largely because of the two major obstacles on this route. Making it here on our own wheels brought with it a quiet but undeniable sense of accomplishment. This will always remain one of our most meaningful overlanding journeys, hoping we discover many more such hidden wonders across Uttarakhand as our journey of exploration and adventure continues.